Jason Unleashed. How's it going? Jason Carter here. Happy Friday. Welcome to the weekend. Ugh, so good. Awesome weekend. Ending the week with a great show because my guest is the Emmy nominated co-host and correspondent for Access Hollywood on NBC, Miss Sibley Scoles. You guys have waited. You've requested. She is here. We're going to bring her in just a few. You guys know the drill. Leave a comment below. Leave your questions below. And we got Sibley coming in just a few. I'm really excited. Huge fan. Been a fan since Revolt, but there's so much about Sibley that you guys don't know that we're going to talk about. So I think she said hello in the chat. Let's see. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, she hasn't said hi yet. That's all good. It's all good. I'm still in my new digs. Working out. Hey, Andrew, I'm working out the lighting and stuff. You know, it's hard when you get used to being in a place and then you move someplace. So, but don't worry. It's going to be a great show. And again, guys, thank you so much for watching. It feels good to be back for season 2. Some really cool guests lined up. So you guys don't go anywhere because it's going to get better. Jason Unleashed is back. Let's see. Boom. Hey, Drew. Boom, boom, boom. Waiting for Sibley. Let's see. She hasn't come into the chat yet. Still waiting. Man, it is hot here in Miami. No one ever told me that the humidity here is intense, but it's good because you burn more calories. I feel like I've lost like 5 pounds just in water weight. Walking my dog. It's been great. Like I'm now nice and svelte. Hey, Brandon, 505. Let's see here. Bam, just waiting for her to say hi. Sibley, where you at? Let's see. Boom, boom. Oh my gosh, you guys can see some of my gray hairs on my goatee. I know, aging sucks, it's terrible, but black don't crack, don't you forget that. Let's see, let me text her. We're talking 2 phones. Technology. Okay, she's coming. Anyways, also today, really cool thing that's been happening. Mariah Carey's Mariah 30. It's her releasing these iconic songs and their EPs, and I'm here for it. Every Friday we get a different era of Mariah. We had like Daydream Mariah. I'm still waiting for Honey or Daydream, Butterfly Mariah. But today we got 4 EPs from the Daydream era. We got Always Be My Baby, which is not my favorite Mariah Carey song, and a bunch of other ones. But all right, let's bring Sib in. Boom, bam, go live with Sib. Mariah Carey in a few. But yeah, Sib Vicious, Sibley Scoles on the show today, elated, over the moon, excited, and bam, here she is. Hey, can you? Hi, can you?
Are we good?
We're good. Wow, your lighting is good, Sib. Can you hear me?
Let me bring her down some. Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Move this. Let me move this down some. How? Wait, I heard you.
I was talking about Mariah Carey because Mariah Carey is releasing these singles from like her older albums, and it's incredible because these are rare like deep cuts and tracks you couldn't get back in the 90s when you tried to get them, and now they're readily available on iTunes.
Hi. We love the moment.
We stand right away. I thought for a minute you were drinking a bottle of wine.
No, my water.
Your water. Sibley, it's so good to see you. Thank you for being on the show. First of all, an honor to have you here. How are you? How has quarantine been for you? You are booked and busy.
Yeah, you know what? It's been busier, I want to say, now than prior to this happening, which I'm doing lots and lots of just trying to stay busy and focus and give myself some me time in the meantime and in between time. But it's, trying to make it happen. How are you doing?
I'm good. Same. I feel you on that me time though, because it's like we're in unprecedented times, right? Like life has never been this way before ever. So it's trying to navigate that. Also with self-care and just being more aware of how you're feeling. because on any given day, it's up and down like that, right? So you're trying to balance out and figure it out. But let's get into you and your journey to become the Sibley Scoles that we have come to love on TV, Emmy nominated. People don't know that you were a pop star.
Did you dig? Did you dig?
I was like TJ Maxx, digging and digging and digging. But
Maxinista? Did we find anything?
No, look. I am so dope at shopping at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, and Home Goods. I always find something. I never leave empty-handed. That's a skill.
I did a Target haul, which I haven't been to a Target since this whole thing started. I haven't been to a department store except since I've seen my parents. And I'm wearing Target right now. Okay, I did my little Target run. They have cute stuff. Don't sleep on all these stores.
Look, I'm here for it. You can find the best stuff at places that you would never. That's the beauty of it, because people aren't shopping there, and then so bam, more for you, right? But you started in music. You're from your Bay Area girl, Fremont. Back in the day, you had donuts, just songs, music videos. Like you, it's incredible. But leaving that, how did that all come to be? Tell me how that all came to be.
So the short of it is, I just always wanted to do music. I watched my older male cousins they were rapping, they were listening to hip hop all the time. And they always wanted me to come in and sing because I'd always be there and I'm the girl. So they just said, get on there and sing. I don't sing like that. I can try to carry a tune every once in a while, but I just always wanted to do what they did, the word play, to be able to just hold the mic and hold my own on stage. So I did that. I committed to that, and eventually, fast forward, I ended up moving overseas, and all those videos you saw online or anyone sees, I shot all those with my own money. I was a bartender, I was a waitress, I worked bottle service, and literally just hustled my way. I was my own PR person. I pretended to be someone else every day, and then left the Bay Area, moved to LA, was here for a few years, went to London for a couple years, toured, did my thing out there, came back, and literally had nothing. I was like, no money left, no place to, I had nothing at all, but ended up getting a email from someone in a casting agency saying, hey, they're looking for extras for, Diddy was looking for extras, Puff. And it pays like $100 or $200. And I said, sure, let's go, whatever, I need some money. So I showed up to the audition, which ended up being Revolt TV later, and I literally brought all my costumes from when I lived overseas. I brought like tutus, luggage. I was crazy that day. And they asked if I'd like to be a host, and this is for the sizzle. Puff saw it, and the rest was basically history. He loved it. We did a bunch of testing for about 18 months. They were testing, and it finally got picked up, and I became the host for Revolt Live.
Which is massive for the culture, because, I mean, I remember when Revolt exploded essentially into the zeitgeist, right? When you have Sean Diddy Combs, who is a masterful genius at business, branding, and creating, not just beyond the music, inventing the remix, but just making sure that his products are always successful, from fragrance to clothing to media, that's when you know something is special. And you were the first female host for Revolt. And what was cool about you, Sib, is that when there was no one like you on television. When I think of Sibley Scoles, I think of disruptor, and I mean that positively, and here's why. Because we have the cookie cutter talents, the Alyssas, the Jessicas, that are like, oh my God, but you were the talented antithesis of all of that, right? So you're at Revolt, killing the game, 4 or 5 years there, yeah?
I was there for, maybe a little less, maybe 3.5 years. It was a long time though, because like I said, the first 18 months it wasn't on television yet. It wasn't even in there. So we kind of guerrilla style. And to be honest with you, I had never hosted anything before. I just knew what to do on stage. Right. And that's what helped. I mean, we had a live audience and it was great, but thank you for saying those things, because sometimes those things in the very beginning, and even still to this day, feel like, you know, they deter me a little bit from getting to the next point, because I looked different, especially at that time. I had a mohawk. I was all over the place, but it was fun time.
Yeah, But so we're gonna touch on that as well because just a few. But you left Revolt, and what is I think what resonates about your story and just about your journey to becoming an Emmy nominated correspondent on one of the most herald outlets and programs in television history is the fact that you left Revolt and said, I need to grow, but you left Revolt to go nowhere. You're like, let me figure this out, and you stepped out on faith, pivoting from, you're an MC, you're on Revolt. It's about the culture, it's music, it's high, it's great, it's deep, it's volcanic, right?
Yeah.
Pivoting to another legendary platform, E! News, which is buttoned up, real pretty, a certain aesthetic,
Different.
which comes with entertainment. That pivot for you, let's talk about coming to E! Because that is huge. Congratulations, but also I'm sure it was very daunting.
Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking. And actually, after I left Revolt, like you said, I had nothing. I am that person, very much a Sagittarius, ready to go it all the time, and but always prepared.
Right.
That this was not going to be easy to leave a place that taught me so much, and every time I see Mr. Combs, it is the best conversation. He always has to remind me that he got me started in this. So that's, I do give him and the team. But after leaving there, I was so comfortable hosting, and it just felt right because I was an MC. And it was all about music, and that was me. I understood it. So after that, I actually did 7 months, 92.3. So I was there for a little bit. So I did the radio thing with Damage, who was my co-host there at Revolt. So then I left there for my deal at E! That was crazy because, again, I had the mohawk, and I remember getting there the first day and not knowing, but they wanted me to cut my hair off, like on the spot. Otherwise,
it was a wrap.
But we had already, whatever. We won't get into all that. But yes, it was a little bit of a wrap. So I said, you know what? Let's just do it. It was painful for me because that's, my expression, but we did it. I, again, was there for 3.5 years. It was great, but it was scary. It definitely was scary. I didn't feel, and like what you said in the beginning, I didn't look like anybody else. Even still, when I cut my hair, I was definitely the odd man out at times. Didn't know the celebrity list that I know now. I thought I knew so much going into the job, and I had no idea. I didn't understand how they did everything at E! I watched it growing up, a lot of us did, but I still didn't know the behind the scenes. So that was definitely another training ground for me to just put my head down, go to work, and get the most out of everything and ask questions all the time.
All the time you have to ask questions, but that's the beauty of, look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, Sib. You can go to the best journalism school in the world. You could be privileged, but you can tell the talents that cut their teeth doing the job. And one thing that I think audiences really get from you is your connection and authenticity, and how you're really interested in people, that it's not about you as a host, it's about the audience, which it should always be about, and how you love connecting with people, finding your voice. You're going from Revolt to E! How did Sibley find her voice and really dial into that on-camera persona? Because everyone has it. Everyone has their zhuzh, right? Finding yours, what was that journey like?
You know what? I will say I kind of, honestly, it still is something that I'm honing in on and making sure that I'm doing me every single interview, which this quarantine, although we're not on set, we're not physically with people, I've actually felt like this is the strongest set of interviews consistently that I've ever done, because maybe I'm feeling comfortable at home. There's no one there to micromanage or watch. There's no, their managers aren't there to say, hey, get off now, or you got to cut.
In your ear, like, yeah.
It's a little less pressure. So I would say now, but you know what I did when I got to E! Because I was so new, so green, I would watch, and thankfully, even though it got overwhelming at times, I was on every single carpet. You couldn't go to a carpet during times and not see me there. I was hustling carpet, but I would watch from top to bottom, and I would listen at least to 3 people in front, 3 people after me, what they were saying, how they were asking the question, and what did they get out of that question, and how I could change. Because for the most part, you know, entertainment news, they get the same answers or
Right.
talk about the same highlights, and that'll be the thing for the night of the show. So I'm like, how can I twist this? And also, I always had my phone making sure I was on their social medias. I was seeing what they had tweeted or find out something that I had in common with them. Like, first time I told them, hey, Bay Area kid, we're both Bay. Like, that way, that celebrity is so scary to you when you approach them. That way you have something that's already, you know, the same.
Right. Shout out to Angelique Jackson watching right now. It's her birthday. And hey, girl, we see you. But that's a Sibley. Those techniques are smart. I do the same. I mean, and I think that just leans on how we're raised. We're you know, like I come from Albuquerque, New Mexico. My mom's like, you got to hustle, get it done, right? Figure it out. So you find ways to figure it out. But cutting your hair, the whole aesthetic of Sibley Scoles, as I said, you are the antithetical superstar of what we've come to traditionally see as an on-camera personality. Do people still try to put you in a box? Do they still try to say, tone it down, Sibley Scoles?
Yeah, a lot of times people, because they don't understand, they just don't get it, or they'll think I can only talk to a certain aspect, or I'm only the music person. But that's why I think, again, I'm having such a great stride right now. It feels so good. I feel in my pocket where I'm allowing people to, first of all, like you are, thank you for having me. We're coming into each other's homes. Yes, all of the love, double tap all over the place. But we're here and we're sharing ourselves. And I'm finally felt comfortable as these people are humans just like I am. Because I was afraid for a long time, especially at E, that I would say something wrong or I would ask a question just because it would get a headline. And I really pull back on that and just learn it's not just about the headline. Get something worthy out of it. Have a conversation with people and let them know you're not just one-sided. I can talk about anything. I can talk politics, about music, fashion, all that. So yeah, sometimes it's frustrating because they do look at me as if, oh, she's the girl with the funky hair, or she likes these bright colors, whatever. I'm going to do me regardless. So you love it or you hate it.
Well, you said, I mean, I was reading an interview earlier where you said that, you know, why you don't waste your time on things that aren't for you or that don't resonate or feel good to you. And I think for you being as young as you are, you're this December Sagittarius, you're from the Bay Area, hyper millennial, to have the wherewithal, your age, and the confidence and to know what doesn't work for you. Look, there's people my age in their 40s that are still figuring that out and struggling to accept that, because fear in this business, we are driven by fear, right? We're driven by fear of losing the job. We're driven by fear of not getting the job. We're driven by fear of growing older, someone younger, all these things that just strip away from just living your life and enjoying something. There are very few times you get to enjoy what you do because you're trying to keep it. Yeah. You're trying to keep it, right? So for you to be as young as you are and to be as strong and strong-willed is incredible. Where does that come from? Your parents, your family?
Yeah, I just always feel to myself too, I never have stopped to really give myself a pat on the back, which I don't encourage that, but I'm very kind of militant with myself. If, again, how you said I left Revolt, it wasn't that I was just confident I'm going to find something else. It was just, it's in me. When I left E, I didn't have another deal either. That was another period of my life where the panic set in for a couple weeks, and then I said, get to emailing, get to putting stuff together, get to creating, producing, doing whatever you have to do, and just know as long as we're here, we're breathing, and you'll be okay. And I'll figure out some way. I do give that credit to my family because they've seen and they've trusted every move I've made, even though, and I know my mom's watching, but yeah, mama's watching, but I know they thought I was crazy throughout the years being out here forever by myself. But, you know, I've always been that person. If something, I go after it and I will find my way to it somehow. Or, you know, or I'll create it myself. Again, like I said, I left. I just kept hustling. I started doing one-offs with Access. Luckily, it was in the same building. At the time, they had seen what I was doing at E, and then E saw what I was doing at Revolt, which is how I got that connection. And I tested at E for 8 months.
Right. The journey to E is always a lengthy one. There's a lot of people who've like, I've been testing at E for 4 years. Hey, it's gonna happen one day.
Yes, you keep going, and I was just so confused because I'd never done that before. So, what do they like me, or what are we doing here? I didn't understand, but yeah, it was 8 months of just going and bartending.
Right.
Right. I was like, oh, this is so strange, but
So okay, you're now at Access, Emmy nominated Access. You're there with Kit and Scott and Mario and Zuri, who I've had on the show. What is life like now? And the growth. When you look back and you watch yourself and you see the Sibley Scoles on air now, what surprises you? Because I hear people say, I don't watch myself. Girl, I watch everything back, like repeatedly. Yeah.
do you love it? Do you love watching yourself?
It's not that I love it. You know what it is? It's because I'm a hypercritical Libra.
Gotcha.
And I'm a hypercritical Libra, and always improving, right? That's part of the hustle, is always improving, always improving. But watching yourself back now, do you giggle and be like, I did that?
You know what? I make, and I'm doing them while I talk to you. I am like Jim Carrey with my faces when I do interviews, but I'm finding before I was embarrassed about it, and I was so like, ugh, don't do that anymore. Like, fix your face. I watch it now, and I realize that is just me, and it brings more out of the person that I'm talking to in the interview. And it just lets them know I'm comfortable, and it makes them comfortable. So when I watch myself now, it doesn't hurt so deep as it used to hurt, because I would watch before like, oh my goodness. And hair wise too, most people don't have like, you know, a mohawk when they're hosting, or short hair, or like a certain way. So I'm like, how come no one helped me or told me that my hair wasn't right? But that's another thing too, where I find my sense of confidence is that I'm able to do my makeup, my hair, my styling, and take care of me and understand, and I can be independent way.
Right.
Yeah.
Quarantine has been this time of super self-discovery, right? It's been this time of like learning the good and bad things about yourself that you haven't had the opportunity to really sit and think about, because go, 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 go. What has Sibley discovered about herself in quarantine that's like, wait a minute, aha moment, or let me edit that?
I'm okay. I used to feel that I needed to move all the time, and things weren't going to happen. I've learned to stay calm, more calm. I'm not going to say I'm fully calm, but I've learned that it's okay to be home and not worry so much about what's going to happen every 2 seconds. I always, and also like, now I feel I have a home where I can be home and be comfortable. Before, I've lived in places I didn't feel comfortable. It was too much going on all the time, and I was in the city. Now I'm close to my family. I have my niece who I adore, and I see her as all the time. So I just got closer again to my family. Family's number one to me. So I think I learned, you know, it's okay. Just take a minute. You don't have to be all over the place all the time.
Right. Yeah, same, and it's, you know, it's awesome to have that drive and that get up and go. But I think also that works to your detriment when you don't stop. And you should be patting yourself on the back, Sibley. You really should, because you've accomplished so much, and your journey is the dream. I mean, going from being an extra, making a crappy day rate in a sizzle reel, to now where you're at. There's some divine purpose there. Really, there is, because people come to LA, they audition, they do the agent, so many traditional ways of ending up on these traditional platforms, but the way you did it just speaks to your authenticity. Music is so important to you, and I always wanted to ask you, and I finally get that. I feel like I manifested this, but what is on Sibley's playlist? Like, what is the non-negotiable give me 5 non-negotiable cuts that will always be in a playlist for you at any time, for any emotion, for any occasion?
I'm trying to think. My music it makes me emotional too. You know what? If I had to have 5 songs, I'm trying to think. I have to have Too Short because
Which one? Getting It?
I do love Getting It. No, you know what? It's gotta be I have to say only because it's a family song and we play it, Blow the Whistle. Like I have to have the whistle. It just makes me feel good. Arms of the Angel, Sarah McLachlan, because I know it hurts. It hurts because my grandfather, the reason I'm named Sibley, that was where I got it from. That was my grandpa Sibley. And when he passed, we were best friends, but that was his song for the world that goes really dark. But it's a beautiful thing. We listen to it now, and it just brings out so much emotion and makes me realize he's still here watching, you know? What else? See, I know you were talking Mariah. I don't have Mariah on my list, but I love some Mariah.
It's okay. Look, Mimi, here's the thing. When you're a lamb, you're apologetic for everything. There's been some times where it's like, Mariah. But seriously, like I'm serious. Like even for me, and I'm like a diehard psycho crazy Mariah Carey fan. Like that memoir that's coming out on September 29th, you know I'm going to download it, have a physical copy, the limited edition, all of it. However, there are times where she has been a miss and not a hit, so it's okay.
This is true. I'm trying to think what else I need on there. I have so many. I'm trying to look at my playlist now. Let's see. I'm not even going to look at it. Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock in the Bay, has to be one of them. These are all emotional things. My mom and I, Islands in the Stream.
Oh my, really? That's so adorable.
Yes, that's our song. I have to have that on there. And then what's another one? YG. My niece loves Go Loco. It's so bad. The unrated version is so bad. Those songs, I'll pick those. That'll be family because it's all about family for me, and those all evoke emotion.
I'll take it. One more question, so before I let you go, because I think, entertainment news and what's happening in the world is so intersectional now, right? We're talking about equality. We're talking about racism, violence against people of color. You have people that look to you, that look up to you, that see you as a role model, that see you as this incredible woman of color on TV every single day. Do people come to you in your DMs and have conversations with you about what's happening now? Are you able to connect with your fans that way?
You know what? They haven't really on Instagram. They haven't Instagram. When I'm on Twitter, if you want to go political or if you want to hear how I really feel about certain things, I definitely am better with my words as opposed to putting a video up or posting. I would love that though. Whoever's watching to, if you have questions for me or if you like, I'm always asking questions too because I want to find a way, especially right now, how I can get involved. Working with some friends of mine, there's a nonprofit that we're doing and we're putting together to help young kids right now. And the vote is so important this year.
It is. Yes.
Twitter too, I do put up a lot of stuff from the Lincoln Project where they kind of, go back and forth. But I just want people to realize that open your eyes and listen, do the work, do the homework too, just in life and for this vote coming up and for understanding the unjust that is happening. Economically, what is going on right now with COVID. I can't stress it enough. Do your homework, read, do the research, understand it, and make sure you go out there and vote because November is going to change all of our lives.
It is. That's our Hail Mary. I want to say what's up to Sharjo Sell. She's over here. She's in here. Everyone, and then also Aaron Rodgers. People are celebrating you, Sib. They are celebrating you in the comments, girl. Will we get more music? Is that on the docket?
That it's never been off. I've always wanted to. I write every single day. Actually, I have I went and picked up more. I have one in front of me now. I went and picked up more notepads. I write every day. I've actually sent a couple things to my friend. He's an amazing producer, Brian Kennedy. You guys would know him from Rihanna and everyone else that he's worked with. But he's amazing. I sent him some stuff recently as far as poetry-wise. But trying to figure it out. I would love to get back in the studio. If there's any artists out there, any producers you want to work together, I'm always down to collaborate. Music has never been off the table. It's just I've been doing,
You're busy.
I would love to. I talk to musicians all the time, and I'm like, oh, I miss this so much.
I love it. I love it. Well, it's been close to a decade since we've gotten some cuts. You have stories to tell now, so let's get those tracks. Just give us an EP, not an album. Just a 4-song, 3-song EP. Not the full buffet, just a snack, and a snack. We'll make it happen. If you weren't on television doing what you do, what does your alternate life look like?
Ooh, I mean, honestly, I would go back to music, or I would do stuff behind the scenes. I would love to executive produce a project. I've been working on a lot of that. I've been trying to create because, I mean, honestly, I feel like that's where the longevity is, being creative, being that. I love being like this with you and doing interviews and talking to people and having conversations, but I think eventually it evolves into behind the scenes for me. I would love that. Then I don't have to not do anything. Just be like, here's the project.
Well, I think that would also be the most natural next evolution because, I mean, it's like they say, the best producers make the best hosts because it's the behind the scenes stuff that really lets you understand the end result. What's so funny, and before I let you go, is that when people watch what you do and what we do, they don't understand the process of what's happened before you go on air, before 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're live. They don't get it. They don't understand the drama, the research, everything that starts at 4 a.m. and ends at 4 p.m. being on air. But with that said, having that knowledge as talent allows you to move in different rooms when it comes to pivoting again to production and things like that. So I for sure see that in your future. I see a lot of wonderful things in your future. It has been an awesome honor and just a pleasure talking to you today. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, Jason, thank you. I'm sorry I'm glad it took this long because now this is our moment. This is when we're supposed to.
100%, 100%. So all the best, guys. Check her out on Access Hollywood every day on NBC. Go to her Instagram. Get into her. Go dig and watch all her incredible music videos on YouTube, and you'll get the full Sibley Scoles experience. Sib, I will see you soon. You stay safe.
Thank you, Jason. Love you. Bye.
Bye.